Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you guys how I winterize my camper. This is a method that I've been using since I was a child. I grew up in a truck camper. My family used to take vacations all over the East Coast in a truck camper. We upgraded to a motorhome. And early on we learned a method that has worked for us. We started off using the antifreeze in the lines and all that stuff, and it used to take weeks in order to get that taste out, and I've never been a fan of it. And we heard about using the compressed air method, and ever since then that's what I've been using. I'm 48 years old. I've been camping for, like I said, the better part of my life. We never had any problems, no burst lines, nothing cracked, anything like that. I had a truck camper myself. I've since upgraded to this Eagle HT 29.5 BHOK. It's a 19. I've been doing it in this since it's new. And I'm going to show you what I do. So basically you need yourself an air compressor, obviously, in order to blow out the lines, and then you need an adapter such as this. It's going to adapt down from MPT threads, in this case it's 1/4 inch, up to a garden hose thread. And then you need I use quick connects. I use these on everything, including my water lines. You need a regulator, and the reason I have everything separate right here is I have a brand new hose. I lost my other one, or I had to use it for something else. But you want a line that's dedicated for this purpose, or at a minimum something that you do not use oil through. So if you have an older compressor that is a oil type of a compressor, to the quiet ones, you don't want to use it for this purpose. You want an oilless compressor. This particular hose is brand new. It's never been used for anything else, so I know it doesn't have any oil in it. You do not want to run it through an FRL. An FRL is a filter regulator lubricator, so you do not want to have any lubricant going into your lines, because obviously you don't want oil in your lines. So in this case, what I have is, it's going to go directly off my compressor. My compressor is at the highest setting. I'm going to set this up for 50 psi. That's a good spot to use to blow these out. You're not going to damage your lines at 50 psi. It's going to go through the line itself, and then it's going to go through a coalescing air filter. This is all from Harbor Freight. This is not sanctioned by Harbor Freight at all, but this is a coalescing air filter. It will take out any moisture and oil, and obviously has a filter cartridge in there as well. And then it's just going to go to a garden hose thread adapter, and finally a ball valve. And I'm going to connect that to my camper. So bear with me 1 second while I hook this up. Alright, so just to show you guys, I have it connected, it's in line, comes off the compressor directly. I have like 58 pounds of air pressure, a little over 50, but it's under 60. You want to make sure that compressor comes back up and doesn't go above 60. That's pretty much the recommended maximum pressure you want to put into an RV. So once it's connected, like I said, I have 60 psi. It's going into the filter, and then it's ultimately going up to this ball valve. Right now, this is my spinner, so you always want to make sure you blow that out as well. So I'm going to do that. And I actually have that open. I've drained everything here. I use the source solution, so I can do that at home. But there's nothing in there right now. So that's blown out. It's that fast. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this to my water going in. And right now, if you want to go through what I do is I go through my tank fill first. So I want to blow out my water tank. I actually have both my valves open currently. So what should happen is, typically when I fill my tank, it's going to blow out of the overflow. So this is no different than the water pressure I'm putting into that tank in a normal situation. So right now, it's going to be blowing out of 2 spots. It should be coming out my overflow, which, let's see if, I'm sorry, I have that on city. Bear with me, that's the wrong spot. There we go. As you can see, it's flowing out of my tank overflow, as well as the vent. There's 2 spots. There's the white line that's right, where is it? There. And it's flowing out of the overflow. Now I know I'm getting rid of all that water that would have been sitting in my tank. So now I'm going to flip this to city. So that just blew out the water going from here into my water tank. and then basically down to the water tank. And I might come back to that afterwards, but I just want to show you the full effect of what I'm doing here. So you want to start from furthest away and then work your way back. But in my case, I have an outdoor kitchen, so there's a couple ways you could do this. You could start with the hot, and I have this quick adapter on here as well. It's a petcock, but it's going to shoot it out. And people are worried about flushing out their tank and that kind of stuff. I do this when it's underwater pressure, and it's very simple to flush out, but I like it because it's no tools. There's a lot of ways to do it. People will tell you, you know, be careful because of galvanic corrosion and that type of stuff. I use a lot of tape on there. I've never had a problem with it. As soon as I bought this thing, I put it on there. So this is going to blow out through the hot, flush my tank out. You get the idea. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through here. I start with the hot water heater. Then I'll go to the outdoor kitchen on the hot side. I'll work my way back. I have a low point drain that I access these valves on the inside. So then I'll start blowing it out through here as well. Then my kitchen will be next on the inside. So I'll go to my indoor kitchen. I'll open up the hot as well. Then I'll go to the bathroom and I'll do the shower hot. I'll do the sink hot as well. Then I go back and I go to the outdoor kitchen. I'll do the cold. I'll do the low point drain on the cold, blow it out through there. I'll do the kitchen sink through the cold. Then I'll do the shower through the cold. I will do the bathroom sink through the cold as well. And finally, I will do the toilet. You basically just run the toilet. The water pump itself, I'll cycle the water pump and turn it on and have it with air pressure going through that at the same time. That I'm also blowing it out through the bottom. So I'll come back to this tank later on. But right now everything's open. So I have all those valves open. I actually have my drain valves open for my waste tanks as well. But that's the process I use. It's very simple. I mean, this thing is full right now. That's why it's taking a decent amount of time. But I mean, if I wanted to speed it up, I could open up the relief valve. That's the air pressure. But this works for me. If you guys have any questions, send me a message and I'll get back to you. Thank you. Okay, so a couple things I want to add. Number one, when you get to the bathroom and you do the toilet, make sure you close the lid of the bowl. Trust me, you don't want to leave it open. The air just sprays it all over the place. So I forgot about that. Figured it's important to mention. So I've already gone, I started at the back, I went to here, worked my way forward, as I already mentioned, is my normal procedure. And the other thing I forgot to mention is I actually work my way back as well, just to double check. Because sometimes what will happen is water will settle in a low spot and you don't get it all out. But you want the pressure to build up inside. So let your compressor stop. Make sure you're up to 50 psi. And once it stops, you want to make sure there's no visible moisture coming out of it. If there is, you still have some in there. Sorry for that burp. That was pretty disgusting. Anyway. As you can see, I got nothing coming out of here. Well, there it goes again, a little bit. So you want to make sure you get that last little residual out of there. I know when I went back to this hot water heater some earlier before, but this is probably the third time I'm coming back to it. It's all in now. So I know I got everything out back here. Like I said, it works best if you let the pressure equalize. What that allows it to do is all the water will go back into its lowest spot, and then you hit it a couple times like that, and it'll blast out. If there wasn't anything sitting in there, it'll push it out. So do that until you don't have anything left, and you're not going to have any problems.